It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday, and thanks for tuning in to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. As many of you all know, I'm on here weekday mornings at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ, and it's a little something different each and every day as I talk to many different professionals about what they are doing in our community to make a difference. So if you're finding me on the air for the first time, this is a business variety show. It's unlike anything else that you'll hear on the airwaves at this time in the morning. It's a show with a positive message about what people are doing in the Tampa Bay community to make a difference. The show, as always, looking for guests, always looking for partners. So if you've been listening to me for a while and saying, you know what, I'd like to get in and meet Jamie, maybe talk a little bit about my business and become part of this growing business professionals network, please feel free to contact me. I love hearing from listeners out there, and the best way to get me is through my contact form over at tampabayradio.com. Also on the site, you'll notice that I do sell real estate, and I also offer a free home valuation to all of my listeners because we need inventory out there, people. So if you're thinking about selling your home, please take advantage of the Sell Your Home link on the homepage at tampabayradio.com, and we'll get you over a free home valuation, typically within 24 to 48 business hours. Got a full show in studio for you today. It's going to be very exciting, so I want to get right to it and introduce my first guests for the show. I got John Gaston in here, who is the director and producer of Tampa Bay Multimedia. Tampa Bay Multimedia offers audio, video, and web services for television, advertising, conferences, trade shows, music productions, and much more. He's also joined in studio by Rod Wortham, who is in charge of operations and marketing at Tampa Bay Multimedia. Gentlemen, welcome to the program today.
Good morning, Jamie.
And we got to give a shout out over here to my streaming engineer, Josh Vozda, who picks up the microphone a little bit from time to time. These are his bosses, by the way. These are the guys who are handling my live streamcast in here each and every morning. So if you head over to Tampa Bay Radio and you click on Watch Live Stream, you can see us here each morning. Josh, not to put you on the spot here, but you got your bosses watching every move right now.
Yeah, and there's the site.
Yeah.
If you're watching, we have the site up.
Yeah.
And you can see the live stream in the bottom left.
Yeah, this is on WeBeam.
It's on WeBeam TV.
Yeah, and it's also hooked up to my site over there on tampabayradio.com. But
right.
Yeah, Josh does a great job in here every morning for me running the live streamcast, and also adds a little color commentary from time to time.
Every once in a while.
Yeah,
Batman chimes in.
Yeah, you got your Batman hoodie on today, sweating that today, so looking good over there. No, it's a casual Fridays over there, so you don't have a
that's the
button-up shirt.
excuse we'll go with. We'll go with that.
Yeah. When are you going to put the tie on, though, man? And when are you going to get the tie?
Next week.
Next week?
I was already thinking about it. I was planning.
You're moving on up in the professional world.
Got to keep my boss Rod over there happy, go corporate for him.
So
that's him over there.
Yeah. Hit the red button over there. Yeah, right. Go ahead. What were you saying, Rod?
I said now you've made a celebrity out of him, so now he's coming in and he's wanting more money. So
hey, there you go. He's becoming part of this show. So
I never said that.
Your tie is going to cost us I don't know how much a week. So
let's talk a little bit about Tampa Bay Multimedia. Offers live streaming, video, web services, things of that nature. But John, give us the background on what Tampa Bay Multimedia does.
Well, Tampa Bay Multimedia, we are a full marketing company now. We can handle all the literally aspects from video to web. So and we specialize in getting your video to the web.
Right.
We are actually one of the longest, oldest streaming companies in Tampa Bay.
And you host a number of shows. I mean, you run my show for me each and every morning. Does
That's
a
correct.
Great job at it. So people that are listening and to me on the radio, you can catch us here live in the studio. And the picture quality is amazing. We put these videos up there on YouTube as well. Very high definition footage there, and it looks great. What's the history of Tampa Bay Multimedia? How many years you been in business?
Tampa Bay Multimedia has been in business since 2009, and before that we were BPI, which we were in business since 2000. So almost 15 years.
And you're involved with a number of organizations around town. I know you do like stuff for the Rowdies and stuff too.
Yeah, we work with the Rowdies. It's a very simple job that we have there. They have their own in-house production crew, but we're the handshake that gives them to ESPN and 38 and actually whoever the visitor team is that day or that night. We help. But we're just we're just a tech and we're just a tech there. But we're one of our biggest community outreaches is the My Chamber TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And that right there, we invite all the chambers in the Tampa Bay proper to come in and tell us what's going on with the chamber, what's what their events are. We have them bring in a new business, an old business, so that way we kind of get the perspective of a long-time standing person in the chamber as well as a brand new person and how excited it is and what the chamber does. And that's been our biggest outreaches.
Now I'm over at your website, webeamtv.com, where you can find this show live streamed in addition to my website, tampabayradio.com. I mean, how many shows are you streaming or being a part of these days now?
Right now, I think, 21?
21
different shows. Wow,
yeah,
that's incredible.
We're slated for 25 by the end of the year.
And you help me reach a whole nother audience. The radio is just, like I say, one medium that this message goes out through. The stream is another one, and, of course, all the different social media outlets, including iTunes. I mean, you're helping me pick up an additional about 35,000 viewers per month, and, this show is still in its infancy. Started February 2nd, and, within a matter of months, we saw it grow from about 5,000 viewers in those first few months up to 35,000 viewers now through WeBeam TV, and that's just your show. That's just where you can track it on WeBeam TV. It doesn't include all the other areas, my website and YouTube and all the other places that you can find this. Let's talk about some of the other shows. You also stream the show that comes in right after me, Let's Talk Nutrition. Talk a little bit about this show.
Well, we have Dr. Garko on from Let's Talk Nutrition. That's another one of our big boys. Between you, with that business show, Let's Talk Nutrition, Moving Forward TV, and the Chamber Show, that's probably our four really, really big ones. Actually, and believe it or not, Brandon Rhymes is right. He's on number 5 spot, which is another
Brad, good friend of mine.
Yeah,
good friend of mine. Does the real estate quarterback show. He and I started in radio at the same time about 2 years ago, both doing real estate centric shows. He also is a real estate professional, just like I am, but I went kind of in a different direction, obviously doing a daily show with an entrepreneurial format. Although I have gotten back to my roots. I am doing a show on 970.
What I've heard.
Yeah, 970 every Sunday mornings at 5 a.m. I'm doing that business show, the Real Estate Edition, where me and my co-host Frank Cotto, Lincoln Lending Group, do a show all about real estate. So that show airs Sunday mornings at 5 a.m. We just did the first show last Sunday, the 11th. Got another one coming up this Sunday. But yeah, just getting back to my roots, and that's how I got on the radio to begin with.
I was going to say, that's where you started. I remember doing your real estate show. So,
yeah.
That's a great thing.
Yeah, you started with me a few months after that. And a funny story about John is he had to chase me for a few weeks and stuff. He kept calling me, and I thought he was just some sales guy. And I'm terrible. I don't like salesmen calling me, especially if I'm in the middle of something. So I hung up on him like 2 or 3 times when he called me. I didn't even know what he did. I just assumed, because you say Tampa Bay Multimedia, and I thought it was just some survey or some sales thing. So finally, you got me in a good mood one day, and talked to me, and you said, "Hey, why don't you let us stream your show?" And so I thought it was a great idea, and then we've been good friends ever since.
Absolutely.
But just a funny story on how we met, and so. But you streamed the show for me earlier in the show's history, and then now Josh is over here doing this each and every day. What's keeping you busy these days?
Well, we've expanded a studio in the Newport Richey. We went from a small 2,000 to about 3,000 square foot facility, and actually we're busting at the seams now, which it's kind of funny. And I know that everybody knows me because it knows I'm a little bit open about the way we are. Moving to Pasco, I never thought there would be that much business, and I was looking for a bigger location. And I'll tell you, downtown Newport Richey has absolutely accepted us with open arms, and we're to the point now where we're busting at the seams. The space we're in now is just not big enough.
Right.
Which is, that's a great problem to have.
Yeah. So streaming, the streaming business definitely is.
Oh yeah. We immediately jumped up 8 shows by moving to Newport Richey, and actually the city of Newport Richey is now going to do a monthly show.
Right. Wow.
With Tampa Bay Multimedia on WeBeam TV.
Incredible growth. Rod, let's bring you into the discussion. You're in charge of operations and marketing at Tampa Bay Multimedia. You're telling me just earlier in the morning here about the Omnibox. Tampa Bay Multimedia is going to have a channel on this. First off, tell the audience, what is Omnibox?
Well, Omnibox is a way to be able to actually take your existing television and turn it into a smart TV if you don't have a smart TV. And it's actually a way to be able to view not only national programming, but in some of the larger markets, local programming via the internet instead of cable.
Okay.
And we're excited because WEB TV is going to have its own channel on there, just like your show and a variety of other shows that we do. So we're going to be able to take that viewership from roughly about 1.6 million right now to probably over 10 million just overnight. So we're pretty excited about that. It's a pretty big thing for for Tampa Bay Multimedia to get an opportunity.
And I'm not familiar, and
this.
you're schooling me a little bit earlier today on what the Omnibox is. You said there's Apple TV, Roku, I think you said, and then there's Omnibox. And so this is a box that turns your television then into a smart TV and picks up the signal through the internet, correct?
That is correct.
And
yes.
roughly, I mean, how's the fee for this compared to DirecTV or cable, for instance?
Well, if you get just the Omnibox and you're not looking for, particular local programming, you buy the box, it's $149, and you can use it. Like I said, it almost turns your television into a computer, so you can do anything that you do online, and there's no additional charge to that. If you want to do the monthly program, it's $24.95 a month, so that's substantially less money than a lot of the cable companies that are out there. So, the bottom line is the future of television is headed to streaming. We went to Infocom, about 4 or 5 months ago, and there was no one there talking about satellite or cable. Everybody there was talking about streaming.
Yeah, and you were saying you're picking up channels from across the globe, right? I mean, I'm just saying you're picking up Asian channels, Russian channels, the whole nine, right?
Yeah, there's actually 1,250 channels on the Omnibox, and they're from all over the world.
Yeah, wow.
And it's kind of funny. I actually spent the evening last night with Bill Rasmussen, who's the founder of ESPN. And, he was talking about it, even from an ESPN standpoint. He says, we're all about streaming heading into the future. So this was John's concept. He was years ahead of this for this particular area. And now we're in a really good position. And one of the things that it does is it allows small business owners, which is a big target for Tampa Bay Multimedia, to actually be able to get their content in front of people. Where, I had a marketing firm in St. Louis, and you would literally bring somebody in, you'd shoot video, and then you had to have that tough conversation with them and talk about their advertising budget and how much it was going to cost them. But streaming is allowing us to get small businesses in front of people on an affordable budget.
And the Omnibox also, you said, picks up local channels too. I would think you would just get the national channels, but you're saying the local programming is available on the Omnibox too?
Correct. Yeah, Omnibox is owned by Omniverse World Television. Jason DeMeo is actually a personal friend. And the larger markets right now, your LA's, Chicago's, Atlanta, those places are already having local programming. So those local programmings are coming on board with Omnibox on a monthly basis. So I would say probably, over the next 90 to 120 days that most all the major markets will be getting, local programming in their areas.
So how soon before you, the WeBeam TV or Tampa Bay Multimedia is going to be up there on the Omnibox?
We are shooting for the 1st of next month. We're pretty much got everything in place. So that becomes the tech side of it. And I have a nickname in the studio. I'm called No Tech. So I'm the non-technical person. So
Well, let me take a quick break. I got a lot of other questions here. Also, I want to talk to you all about how you're incorporating drones into your video technology here. Currently talk with Rod Wortham, Operations and Marketing Director for Tampa Bay Multimedia, and also the owner, John Gaston, here in studio. And again, learn more about them, WeBeamTV.com. You're currently listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Have you considered considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 727-347-0305.
Help promote the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WINS WHNZ to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where he promotes what is right with our community and highlights the successes of our entrepreneurs. Show contributor openings also available. You can learn more about the show and how to become part of this growing network at TampaBayRadio.com. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Good morning. Getting word of a crash in Pinellas County along 66th Street at 82nd Avenue North. Some slow traffic on the Courtney Campbell Causeway into Tampa as you approach Rocky Point. Southbound Veterans Expressway just a bit slow between Linebaugh and Waters. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Utah Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Friday Nights on NBC. Last Friday, Undateable Live premiered. It was interactive and hilarious as the cast connected with the fans while the show was happening. Tonight, they're doing it again. Don't miss Undateable Live, followed by the premiere of the great new comedy Truth Be Told. It all begins at 8, 7 Central, only on NBC.
Today, a mix of sun and clouds with a high 86. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 68. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with just a slight chance of rain, high 88.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 WINS WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Again, weekday mornings at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. Learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Currently talking to Rod Wortham and John Gaston with Tampa Bay Multimedia. Learn more about them and watch all their shows, including this one live over at WeBeamTV.com. John, drones, those have been in the news over the last couple years, growing in popularity. Do you use drone technology
yes, we
in
do.
your business?
Yeah. It's really gotten kind of over sensationalized. Basically, is in reality, the drones, the UAS, that's what they call them now, is UASs. The FAA really wants people that are flying them to be just qualified to fly them. If you're going to go out and buy one just for personal use, that's fine. They have no problem. You have to stay under 400 feet. You can't be within 5 miles of an airstrip. And if you're gonna fly within 3 miles of an airstrip, they want you to go talk to the airstrip and say, "Hey, look, this is what I'm doing. I'm just playing." You cannot fly them. You cannot land them. And you cannot take off from a national forest, like in any government-owned property. It's just against the law. So that's the regulations they want you to follow. Now, the minute you turn that camera on and you're charging, you've just become commercial. And what they want you to do is go through their regulate. They want you to take the course to know that you're actually able.
Who
to
is they?
control.
Are you talking about the FAA?
Okay. FAA. Yeah, and when you're doing commercial, they want you to have a two standard person. So in other words, you have one person that's flight, that's taking care of the driving the drone, and then they want to have another person that's making sure the drone will not potentially hit anybody. Now, the good thing about most of the drones today, they have avoidance sensors on them. We have one, as a matter of fact, that if you get too close to a person, it will back off. and it's self-righting as well. So if I let go of my controls, it stabilizes itself. And it knows how far it off. You can set your ceiling, and you can set your. I mean, this is all. The drones are getting smarter, and they're GPS controlled. So that way, if I let go and in low battery, it comes back to us. Like we filmed this past weekend at a big bike fest up in Newport Richey, and it was kind of funny. You could drive, and you set your avoidance. So that way, if I don't want it to be close to like 20 feet from a person, it will literally start, and you could see the drone trying to figure, well, there's people. It was trying to.
Yeah, I was going to ask, because you said my one concern is, if the batteries die on you, you said does the control mechanism then stop working, saying, hey, I got to get back home?
No, you set a GPS position for your home, and as you're driving it, or it kind of reads your controller. So what'll happen is that battery gets low, your controller says, hey, my battery's low, and then you can tell it to return, and it'll come right back to you, and then it literally will land in front of you. That's how smart they've become.
What's a typical cost for a drone? I mean, people can pick these things up for under $2,000 or something,
well,
can't
yeah.
they?
I mean, you can actually get a very, very inexpensive for about $500. That's actually GPS control.
Oh, you can get them that cheap? I thought they were like $1,500.
You can get them about $500. And they're not bad. Matter of fact, we have one of the cheaper ones. It's called a Bebop, and it's $599. Now we're probably going into the DJ world, which is the Phantoms, which is a little bit better. But what happens is once you get into anything over 55 pounds, that's when you really got to worry about talking to the FAA. You take their UAS class, you get certified. I'm in the process now of getting my UAS certification. And it's not really a certification. Basically, we send in paperwork, and they're going to exempt us because we've already been using drones. We understand how they work. Even this past weekend, we had 2 people. We had a 2-people rule. One person drove, the other person followed. So that way, we didn't hit anybody, and we didn't have to take a chance. God forbid it goes out of control, and it falls and it hurts somebody. But the one we use it for a reason. We use it because if it hits you, it literally will not hurt you.
Is it difficult to learn how to fly the drones and operate them if somebody picks one of these things up for $500 or $600?
In the beginning, it was. In the beginning, you really had to know how to drive.
Right.
But now it's to the point where literally you fly it with these.
Yeah. So you use your smartphone and you get so do you get a lot of requests now for the drones?
Yeah, everybody wants to have drone shots. And the thing of it is you got to make sure that you're talking to the local police department, the fire department, the whole 9 yards, because they want to know if you're going to be flying drones. And if long as you have the proper certification and they understand what you're doing, you're going to be okay.
And you said as long as you stay under 500 feet, you're pretty much under 400
feet is the ceiling limit they want you. The reason they're saying that is because they don't want them to be in the way of helicopters. Maybe Bayflight may be running in, and if you're running 500-600 feet, well, you're potentially in their flight plan.
And I'm assuming as part of the control panel, it tells you your altitude.
That's correct. You can actually set your altitude so you can't go above a certain foot. I mean, there are drones that'll go 1,000 feet.
Is there any reason in your day-to-day business that you would need to go above 400 feet? I mean, is that sufficient right there?
Nope.
I mean, why would anybody need to go above 400 feet other than just to say, get it up there?
Exactly. That's it.
Very cool. Well, I got to take a quick bottom of the hour break, but coming back from the break, I'm going to be talking to one of your shows, as a matter of fact, Moving Forward TV, correct?
That is correct. Yeah. They are awesome.
Yeah, Barry Horvath and DeLynn Gaston, who is your wife, by the way. Yep. They've got a great show that's been on air for, 5 years now or so?
Yes, it'll be November's 5th year.
In the 5th year, and they're carrying over 1 million viewers on their show. So we're going to talk with them coming back from the break. John Gaston and Rod Wortham with Tampa Bay Multimedia. Great interview. I'm sure you'll be checking in on the second half of the show as well as we talk to our next guest. But thank you very much for being in studio and for helping support the show each and every morning via the live stream.
Thank you.
And you can learn more about them over at WeBeamTV.com. Well, stay tuned from coming back from the break again. We'll be talking with Barry Horvath and DeLynn Gaston about their show, Moving Forward TV, a show that I've actually been on myself. So please stay tuned. You've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tile, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
A firm's mission statement defines your hopes, dreams, and aspirations. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We take very seriously our obligations to our clients, many who come to us in their most desperate hour. Our mission is you. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Crash on northbound 66th Street at 82nd Avenue North has a couple lanes blocked there. Also some minor delays on the Courtney Campbell Causeway approaching Rocky Point. Slow traffic on eastbound Hillsborough Avenue between Hanley and the Veterans Expressway. And you're going to see some delays on northbound 275 near West Shore as you come off the Howard Franklin Bridge. Crash there off on the shoulder. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Friday Nights on NBC. Last Friday, Undateable Live premiered. It was interactive and hilarious as the cast connected with the fans while the show was happening. Tonight, they're doing it again. Don't miss Undateable Live, followed by the premiere of the great new comedy Truth Be Told. It all begins at 8, 7 Central, only on NBC.
Winds, Weather Center forecast. Today's high, upper 80s, near 90 degrees. Warmer temperatures, but still got that low humidity, so it won't feel as bad. Sunshine with increasing clouds throughout the day, lows in the upper 60s. Forecast the same for Saturday, Sunday, cooling down in the mid-80s and a bit of a breeze. Impact Radio, 1250 winds.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Again, weekday mornings at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. And take a moment to visit my website, TampaBayRadio.com. Over there, all shows are available on demand, both the audio and the video. And also on the site, you can peruse all the local real estate listings and take advantage of my free home valuation tool on the homepage at TampaBayRadio.com. Just click on that and put in your home's information, and we'll see about getting you over a free home valuation, typically within 24 to 48 business hours. Also, please connect with me on all the different social media sites. You'll find me pretty much on every medium out there. Facebook.com/That Business Show. Also, Twitter under Jamie_Maloney. If you're just tuning in that last segment, we were talking with John Gaston and Rod Wortham, who are the owners and the director of operations and marketing at Tampa Bay Multimedia. And on this segment of the show, we're going to be talking to two people who do a show through the Tampa Bay Multimedia medium, Barry Horvath and Delynn Gaston, who are the personalities on Tampa Bay Multimedia's Moving Forward TV, which is also presented by EasyMortgageAnswers.com. Barry and Delynn, welcome to the program today.
Good morning, Jamie.
So tell me about the history of Moving Forward TV.
Well, Moving Forward TV started about 5 years ago, and actually it's funny because, as you mentioned, I'm married.
Excuse me, Delynn. I usually get to talk first on the show.
Not this time.
Keep in mind, these are show hosts themselves, so they've got their own personalities here, and they work together for 5 years here.
So
I'm going to let you go. Go ahead, Delynn.
You had mentioned, Rod had mentioned that John has always been ahead of his time. Well, back in 2000, I'm married to John for over 20 years, and in 2000, he kept on telling me I needed to do a podcast about mortgages because he would hear me on the phone all the time talking to clients and saying the same thing, guiding a clients and their mortgage needs over and over on the phone. And he kept on telling me you have to do a podcast. Remember those little podcast things back in 2000. So anyway, and I kept on telling him that would never go over. No one would ever watch it. No one would ever listen to it. So anyway, about 5 years ago, after the whole real estate market crashed, I've personally been doing mortgages for over 35 years. And quite frankly, it was a big blow to everyone. And there was a lot of negativity that was going on in the industry and in the market at the time. And a lot of people were out there doing some YouTube videos and things like that, but all very negative. And I decided that if I was going to do something, I was only going to do positive stuff. Some of the changes that were going on, give everyone a heads up in the industry. Watch out for this, be careful for that, and move things forward, quite frankly, which is where the name comes from. What happened, in the whole real estate crash, and there's nothing we can do except learn from it and move forward.
Now, the website Easy Mortgage Answers, I mean, that's what your show is all about, right? Mortgages and
Correct.
things. So how does Moving Forward TV tie in the Easy Mortgage Answers? Can you link those together for me so I can have a better understanding?
Like I said, Easy Mortgage Answers is a website that I've had for years, which is an strictly educational website. And John, being the video and visionary person that he is, would say, you really should put video on here. You should put video. And so we started doing the show. And at first it was just, a few minutes long. It was really very, very short, these like two-minute podcasts that I was doing. And it just kind of like grew and mushroomed. And
now you do a weekly show now, and so is it about an hour in length, or what's
30 minutes?
30 minutes. And I got to be a guest on your show.
You were a gangster, Jamie.
Yeah, several months ago.
To have you on there.
Yeah.
I still have that picture in my head of you with that.
I've got a link to that show actually up on TampaBayRadio.com too, so people can see Jamie Maloney on Easy Mortgage Answers.
That was fun.
It was, yeah. But you always do like a little skit before each of your shows, and you kind of just do those on the spot, right? You're like, all right, what do you want to do?
We're on the fly.
That would be his side.
Yeah, and so, I mean, on the spot, you kind of came up with this persona of, you were robbing the bank and I was the bank protecting their properties or something.
Right.
So, and I'm not an actor. I look goofy in that thing.
But you were a comedian.
My past life there, yeah.
So he went right along with it. You went right along with it.
When you said you were a comedian, I just wanted to run with that.
Yeah. No, it's been 15 years or so since I've been on a stage. I definitely want to get back up there and stuff. I say I'm a recovered redneck. Since I grew up in West Virginia back in the day when Jeff Foxworthy was making his rounds. Do you remember the "You Might Be Redneck If" thing? I took that test. I scored 95% on that thing. So I knew right then and there that I had to make some changes and stuff. So that was one of my old jokes, by the way.
Good.
Just happened to think of that. But I'm a big Jeff Foxworthy fan.
Oh,
and
I love him.
love the "You Might Be a Redneck If" stuff. He's now on satellite TV. I mean, satellite radio. Him and Cable Guy there are doing a comedy channel and stuff. And so he's still out there. You don't see him as much.
What's your favorite? You might be a redneck if.
Oh shoot! You
fill
might
in the blank.
Oh shoot! You might be a redneck if somebody hollers "ho down" and your girlfriend hits the floor. So put me on the spot, but right then and there, that one comes right to mind. So yeah.
Well, I have a favorite too. Mine is if you have to go to an ear, nose, and throat specialist to have your finger removed. I love that one.
Yeah, there's he was my favorite comedian, and growing up in West Virginia, yeah, he's definitely right there, right there along with one of my favorite comedians. Getting back to your show though, tell me, your audience now carries how many people?
Well, we're told 1.2 million viewers. We're carrying now.
1.2 million viewers.
1.2 million, yeah, and I think maybe it's because if you
You're
ever watch
goofy.
the show, yeah, maybe because I'm a little goofy on the show. We like to bring a little light. People don't want to. The mortgage industry is kind of boring. I know that's pretty shocking.
Snooze.
Yeah, DeLynn talks about all the boring stuff.
I know.
Yeah,
we like to spice it up a little, and we kind of think we're funny.
Yeah,
at
least you are.
Yeah.
How did you grow your audience? Anybody who starts a podcast or a video cast such as yourselves, how do you get the message out there?
A good marketing company, Tampa Bay Multimedia. Again, John really has just taken it to new heights. It's good content, patting myself on the back a little bit there. It is good content with all of the changes in the industry that happened and things that everyone was looking for answers, quite frankly. Everyone was looking for answers and not sure which, the changes in the industry that were going on. So I think good content along with good marketing. John has several different avenues like, WeBeam TV and the radios and things like that he has always partnered with. And it's really taken it to new heights. And with the whole internet thing, the streaming thing, he really is. It's so funny because he says, he thinks he's like in the Truman Show,
right?
Because it seems like all of his ideas, all of a sudden, someone will just start doing them. But with the streaming thing, now it's all over the world. I get calls from Colorado, New York, people asking mortgage questions. So
I walk into a public place and people come up and they'll throw back one of the.
Switch that microphone over to him. There's swing that microphone right there around to him because I can't hear very good coming through there. Hit the red button there too, if you would, please. Go ahead, Barry. There's something wrong with that microphone.
So you walk into a public place and people will throw back a one-liner joke or something I said like months ago, and I look at them like, oh, did I say that? And I'm like, oh, you must watch our show. So whatever we're doing out there apparently is working. People, there are people that will come and I think maybe just watch our show, not necessarily for the content, but and they'll just say,
"Excuse me, they like my content."
Okay, all right. They love Delenn's content. All right, let me be clear. Some people just watch it to see the intro and see what we're gonna do. Yeah, they're like, "What in the world are you guys gonna do this week?" Even Josh over here says, "Oh, I can't wait to see what you guys do this week." Right, Josh?
Go ahead. We got to swing the microphone over to Josh. Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
I pretty much follow what Barry does. So whatever he does, I add to it. But yeah, it's a surprise to me every week too.
Yeah. Now, Delenn, how has the show been, for you in growing your business? I mean, you say you get, got 1.2 million viewers, and you're getting calls from all across the, the globe now. How's it been as a lead generator for your business?
Excellent. Like Barry said, it's really it's not what we did the show for. That's a nice perk for it. I really did the show because I wanted to educate people in the real estate business. An educated client is the best client that you can have. So that was the whole point of doing it. But like he said, with people coming up to him in the grocery store or at the gym or wherever else and start talking to them, it's really grown it. Unfortunately, I'm not licensed in Colorado. So
yeah, I was going to say, because, you got to be licensed in the state to practice mortgages. Right. So, you get calls, though, from other states and stuff.
Yeah,
so how do you feel
I answer
those calls?
their questions, and I tell them, find a good mortgage person in the area. Definitely talk around it, ask a few people. There's definitely some people out there who don't know what they're doing. So I tell them just be careful of that. And not always, I don't know if I can say this, but not always the big banks are the best.
Now, I got a lot of people that follow me on the that are podcasters, and they've got all these shows out there on iTunes. And one of the big challenges for anybody that hosts a show is getting partners or sponsors for the show. Give some advice out there for people that have shows on how to get partners for their show and help support them.
If you let your you have to give good content. Back to my content.
Jeez.
You have to give good content. People want to know, for example.
See when I slap her? Okay, people watching the stream, yeah, I'm hitting her. This is what we do every week, just so you know.
Usually it's the other way around, though. People will say they watch him for the goofiness, but I don't want to talk to him. I want to talk to her.
Exactly what you're saying.
But anyway, to give good content, people, for example, in my business, insurance, in your business, real estate, you're buying a house, you're getting a mortgage, you need insurance on the house. So for insurance people, it's a great platform for them. And it's really just showing them what we're doing, showing them that it's not breaking any licensing laws, because it is strictly an educational show. I don't have an apply now button on there. I don't have any it's not promoting taking a mortgage application at all. It's really just informational. So it's not infringing on anyone else's
Now, did you have
licensing.
to go after partners in the beginning, and was there a point where they started to come to you? Obviously, if you're carrying, a million viewers, that's definitely a great marketing platform for partners out there. Talk to me about that transition that, occurred from the inception of the show to where it became, a sought after, resource for marketers or for advertisers.
I think, what I think? after we brought Jamie Maloney on, boom, our ratings just went through the roof.
I know it's a popular show. Yes, I know. Of course, anytime I'm on, people are listening. Absolutely. So
if you want to be successful, just hang around Jamie Maloney. That's what I'm going to say. So.
Go ahead, Liz.
It would be John. It would definitely be John. Back to my producer, and he's, it's really kind of funny because I do mortgages. It's all I've ever done in my life. I do them, and I do them really well. I know what I'm doing. When it comes to that stuff, he is a brilliant marketer.
Well, you know what? I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to throw that question to John then coming back from the break. So stay tuned for all those people out there that, host their own shows or have thought about hosting their own show. And if you're a business owner, you should be doing some type of, whether it's a blog, a podcast, or something. And it's simple to do. You can buy a basic podcasting kit and throw the thing up on iTunes for, minimal money. And you actually do it free of charge if you know how to host a thing. So stay tuned. Coming back from the break, we'll be talking a little bit more with Barry Horvath and Delynn Gaston, hosts of Easy Mortgage Answers. You can learn more about them, easymortgageanswers.com. And also we'll be talking with John Gaston, again, owner of Tampa Bay Multimedia. Learn more about him, webeamtv.com. You've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 727-347-0305.
Help promote the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WINS WHNZ to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where he promotes what is right with our community and highlights the successes of our entrepreneurs. Show contributor openings also available. You can learn more about the show and how to become part of this growing network at TampaBayRadio.com. Tune in weekdays at 8 a.m. to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Maloney of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Southbound Veterans Expressway, it's a bit slow between Linebaugh and Waters. Also, there was a crash in Pinellas County along northbound 66th Street, north of Park Boulevard, right around 82nd Avenue. Couple lanes blocked there. And in Tampa, you're going to find some minor delays off the Howard Franklin Bridge. Nothing too significant, but there's a crash off to the side right near West Shore. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abraham Son and Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer. The Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer is so fast, accurate, and easy that it takes the hassle out of taking temperature. It is an awesome purchase. Every new parent should have one. Pick one up at your local Club Warehouse or other fine retailers today.
Today, a mix of sun and clouds with a high 86. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 68. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with just a slight chance of rain, high 88.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, your business become show business. Again, weekday mornings at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. A business variety show, a little something different for the listeners each and every morning. So I talk to many different professionals from around the Bay Area about what they are doing each and every day to make a difference. So it's a show with a positive message. Take a break from all the political news and sports talk that's on the airwaves, just a little bit too much, with a show with a completely different flavor. That's what That Business Show with Jamie Maloney is all about. John, in that last segment there, we were talking with DeLynn and Barry about how they are growing their audience, but they kept deferring to you as owner of Tampa Bay Multimedia as being the true brains behind growing their audience. You know, so and obviously I got to ask you too, because you know I'm a client of yours. You're helping me grow my audience. How are you getting my message out and their message out to the listeners out there?
The hardest thing in the beginning was to get the viewers,
right?
And we were really
okay. Hold on 1 second. Let's swing that microphone around to Johnny. And we're having problems with one of the microphones here in the studio today. So
not a problem.
All right, that one's much better.
In the beginning, it was tough. You know, we were embarking on something that when you tell people, well, I have a show on the web, people are like, oh, you're not on TV. And it's like, okay, yeah, no, we're on the web.
Right.
And I kept trying to tell people back then, you know, this is where it's going. Right here is where people are going to start watching all their content. Oh, yeah. So in the beginning we were old school. We went email, we went mail outs. I did social media, just heavy. And back in the day when Facebook was originally Facebook, everybody that watched you, everybody that was your friend, saw what you were posting. Now it's the whole. I think it's gotten down to 98.2. 2% of your Facebook friends are the people that are actually paying attention, or actually can be able to see your content, your posts. So in the beginning, it was social media. That's how I built it, and that's how I still do it today. Because when we have people sign up for our Facebook page and they like our page, we make sure that we get back to them immediately and say, hey, look, add us to your interest list or your follow list. So every time we post, now they still see it. So we still retain, I would say, almost a 48% post view, which is really good. Our interaction's really high. And now that's how we do it. And plus we're getting out into the markets, and we go and we set up at trade shows. And
yeah, I was going to say, how do you find your sponsors then for your shows and their shows right there? I mean, do they come to you now? Do you have to go out and seek them still?
Yeah, now they're kind of coming to us, which is kind of cool. In the beginning, we seek them out because, especially for moving forward TV, we would always go out to that industry, people, insurance, inspectors, and that was what we really.
So you had to work in the beginning. You had to go out there and get them.
It was a lot of work, and to prove yourself to somebody that's when it's brand new like that, it's a totally different. It's a different ball game,
right?
Because they're like, how many people, how many eyeballs, and and how many, who's watching, what's your demographic, and in the beginning it was tough because we just didn't have it. Now I can walk in and say, well, like WeBeam TV, 1.7 million people a month. That's 1,700 people an hour,
right,
watching the website.
Yeah, and I think
that's pretty good.
I think I probably get more viewers from the stream than I probably do listeners on this station at this hour. But it's a great medium out there, and you've built this up into an incredible platform. At Tampa Bay Multimedia.
As long as we're not getting people in trouble with their employees, they can sit there on a computer or on their iPhones. And I hate to say this, but the other day we were driving to Orlando, and I had my show going on my phone so I could make sure all. The switching was good in the whole 9 yards all the way to Orlando, so that way I could keep track of what was going on. So if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Right. Let's come back around to Barry and DeLynn with Easy Mortgage Answers. Again, one of the shows that is on the Tampa Bay Multimedia site, WeBeamTV.com. Where do you get the content for your programming?
Jamie, that's a great question. It's so funny, you know. Every week we're like, okay, what are we going to do the show about? What are we going to do about the show? What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
I think it's really
I walk in here each morning and do that. What am I going to do today? All right, I got a couple people in here. Let me see what they do.
It's an excuse to go to breakfast, actually. We need to write a show. We need to get out of the office. Let's go to breakfast.
It's actually usually something that went wrong during that particular week that we're like, oh, we got to fix this problem. We got to get the word out. So it's kind of, I mean, whether it be an appraisal coming in bad or whether it being like educating a realtor or a consumer about the process of you know, how the mortgage industry really works today, you know, because people that did mortgages back in 05, 04, 06, you know, they live in the past, kind of like Dylan said, moving forward TV. It's not the same anymore as it used to be. The whole process has changed, and, you know, people get more frustrated on how long it takes, and it's just the way it is now. And the documentation now, you know, the days of what we call a no-doc loan or stated income, those are all gone with Dodd-Frank and the new laws in place. So
yeah, and we got a new law that just went into effect here just a few weeks ago.
We weren't going to talk about TRID.
Yeah, we're getting a
It's
whole new regulatory environment here. You can speak a little bit about that, you know, to the audience.
Oh, we promised we would never speak about TRID again.
We did like 3 or 4 shows in a row.
I imagine that's a big talking point for your show out there. Briefly, you can tell the audience about what this is.
Well, the TRID is basically going to delay, you know, your closings by at least an additional 3 business days, and the disclosures are all different now. The whole process is extended because the consumer will now have more time they actually have to review their documents 3 days before closing. So if you're closing on Friday, you may not close, and, you know, even though you got your package Friday, you might not close till the following Wednesday. So, you know,
it is a good thing that's going on, in all honesty. They basically, the government stepped in and said, we need to slow this down. There's no more rushing to closing and last minute changes on your closing statement or whatever. They basically said, no, we're not pushing consumers into this. We're going to slow the whole process down. And it is an intentional slowdown. So people who will say, well, can't we waive this 3 days? Can't we push it along? Can't we do it any faster? The government's big answer is no. No, it is intentionally slowing it down.
And this affects
so that people have a chance to read.
This goes into effect on all people that have applied for a mortgage after, what is it, like October
3rd.
October
yeah, the law's
3rd.
in place.
Yeah, it'll be
the big challenging part right now is the technology, because this is a nationwide change. The entire country, it affects every single mortgage lender in the entire country, as well as every single closing agent, title company, attorney, anyone who does any real estate closings. Both of us, huge industries, had to change our entire software.
Yeah, I know, and it put some title companies out of business, and some have sold off their operations as a result of that.
Well, the expenses now for title companies are going up. You're going to see settlement fees increasing across the board. So, you know, the software, et cetera. So.
Yeah, it's definitely going to impact the real estate business very noticeably. So we've talked about that on some of my shows as well with other guests, but we just touch on briefly here with, again, Barry Horvath and Dylan Gaston of EasyMortgageAnswers.com. Barry and Dylan, thank you for both being in the show as well.
Thanks, you, Jamie. Hey, we got to give a shout out to Jewel Vera.
Oh, yeah, your son who's in a band, right?
Yes, they are just touring. They're getting ready to go on tour again. Just came off Warped Tour, and they were just on our show last week.
Hey, we'll see about doing another music show. We did one of those here just a couple weeks ago. Jewel Vera, put me in touch with him. We'll see about doing
JewelVeraMusic.com, and they're all over right now. So.
Very cool. Well, I hope everybody has a great weekend. That's the end of this one, so have a great weekend. I will see you back in here Monday morning at 8 a.m. on That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.